welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury makeup. Today we have a May repurchase review. So for those of you who are new here, the repurchase review is the monthly video I do where I go over everything that I featured on my channel during the previous month and whether or not I would repurchase it again. So also like any little updates or anything like that. And then at the end, I share any like current favorites or anything that I'm reaching for a lot that are potentially not from this past month. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are working our way backwards and we're going to start off with the Victoria Beckham bronzer. I have shade number 1 and I do have swatches of this and some comparisons in the Victoria Beckham Get Ready With Me video from the other day. I do have faulty packaging, so mine does spring open sometimes and it is hard to close. I actually have to push this in to close it. I kind of finagled it a little bit to get it to close in the first place. Aside from the packaging issue, it is a nice product. So she does sell refills. If you're interested in trying the product, I would say go ahead and try a refill first. I don't know for sure that they have fixed this and removed any defective packaging, but I would hope that by now they have done that. So I'm not sure. Would I personally repurchase this again? No. In regards to packaging and in regards to the actual product, I think it is a nice product, but again, I am not a huge bronzer person. So having a bunch of different bronzers, it's really not a big deal to me. I pretty much, for this category, I kind of look for my absolute favorite, the one I want to use all the time. And yes, it would be nice to have maybe 2 or 3 that are at the top of my list. Unfortunately, this doesn't get all the way up there for me. So although it's nice, the color is just, I like this darker shade here. It is similar to the Dior bronzer in 04. This lighter shade, I don't really like it. It's too warm, too yellow. Let me just swatch these real quickly. And then, yeah, so I think overall, this particular product, it's not my favorite, so I wouldn't pick it up again. So this is the lightest shade, the darkest shade, and this is the 2 of them mixed. And you can see like mixing them, you can see like a little swirl of the colors in there. So I think it's a nice product, but not for me. And if I had to pick a bronzer, I'm still hung up on the Gucci in 01 Fair. That's the one for me. Now, I also picked up the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Eyeliner in, I always get the wrong side, in Ash. So this is her most recent shade. I have several of the others. This is deeper than I thought it was going to be, but it blends out, smokes out very nicely. I like these personally. I think they are a great smoky, smudgy eyeliner. They are not something that kind of stays put. So would I purchase this again? Yes, I would. It's more charcoal, more black in there than I thought it was going to be, but I've really been enjoying using this. So the other day I wore this kind of smoked out on the lash line, and then I used the Dior Single Shadow in Tutu with it. Love the combination. I really like gray and light pink together. I think it's modern, it's easy, it just looks really nice. Now, I've also tried wearing this, as you saw with the Victoria Beckham Get Ready With Me, where I just used this on the eyes. I do have to say that it will crease after a while. It's not like I had a lot of pigment or anything up there, but the parts I did have did crease. So just something to note, but I think it's a great liner and I really like it. Again, if you're looking for something smoky and smudgy, not for something staying in place. Next, we also have the Guerlain Kiss Kiss Shine Bloom lipsticks. And I picked some of these up when they first launched. And then I really love these. So I picked up more. I now have 9 shades. And these here are a couple of my favorites. This one here is number 129, Blossom Kiss. And then over here we have 119, Floral Nude. And they have like that nice balmy texture, similar to like a Chantecaille Lip Chic. You know, it has that kind of similar texture to it. It does feel a little bit thinner on the lips than the Chantecaille one does to me. But they have sheer colors, they have, you know, light shades, deep shades. They have a really great color range. And one of the things I like about them is they also have cooler and more neutral shades instead of leaning like very warm, which seems to be the trend recently. And I know some people have commented on the fragrance. These do have a fragrance. I personally have not tasted anything with these. I can smell the fragrance when I put it on, but to me, it's not offensive in any way. It doesn't bother me. So I actually find these to be much less offensive than some other scented lip products like the Say lip gloss or the Gucci lipsticks are two of the ones that I find to be more highly fragranced. And the Say lip gloss, I have to say, I taste that a lot. So, you know, for me, I really like these, but again, scent is a very individual thing. So some people love it, some people will hate it. So definitely, if you're not familiar with Guerlain lipstick scents, check them out first before you purchase. Right, and another product that I forgot to bring up here is the Givenchy lip balm. I'll post a picture of that on the screen, but you've got this beautiful white vegan leather case, and the lip balm is translucent. I've been enjoying using this. This is great for a lip primer, and it's what I put on when I do my morning skincare. I just put it on my lips, and then by the time I do my makeup, you know, it's kind of like worn down nicely, or I blot it off, you know, if it's too soon. But I like it for a nice, lightweight, everyday type of lip balm. I don't find it, you know, incredibly like reparative or emollient. So during the night, I like to wear something thicker, but I would repurchase this. Next, we have the Dior bronzer. I picked up number 4, Tan Bronze. And let me just swatch this with the Victoria Beckham so you can kind of see how those go. You can see that it is fairly close to the second shade. It's almost like a mix of these, like 75% this and 25% of the lighter shade. They're very close. Formula-wise, though, I do prefer the Dior bronzer over the Victoria Beckham because I find the Dior bronzer it's less powdery and it acts more like a blurring powder. If you're familiar with any of those like blurring products like the Sisley Blur Expert or the Chantecaille Perfect Blur, I feel like it has a lot of those same qualities, and texturally that's what it feels like as well. So if I had picked between the two of them, I would pick the Dior bronzer. Now, it's still not my favorite. The Gucci still reigns supreme, but would I pick this one up? This would be a good second for me. So if I wanted another powder bronzer, this would be my second choice. And next, I have a sample of the Chanel, this is the new fragrance, Paris Edinburgh. And would I purchase a full size? Still haven't quite made up my mind on this. The more I wear this fragrance, the more I like it. You can see this is how much I've used up of the sample so far. And it's light and fresh, has a little bit of a cologne type scent to me. You know, definitely some woody notes to it, but I like it. It's not long wearing, so I probably will not purchase this. But I have to say it may be my favorite scent from Chanel. I'm not a huge Chanel fragrance lover. So this one though, I do like it. So there are other perfumes I like better. I don't have a huge fragrance collection. I like to kind of keep it curated. So just a few that I like to wear all the time. So I don't think it quite hits that mark. And next up, we have the Dior Monos. I picked up quite a few of these. This is Tutu that I mentioned that I like to pair with the Ash. You can see that it's gonna be a warm peachy pink shade. And I think Tutu is an apt name because it really does remind me of a more like metallic version of a ballet slipper. It's that shade of pink. So I think it's a really apt description. So in regards to the Dior Monos, you can see that I picked up quite a few of them. That was over 3 purchases. So yes, I would repurchase, and I did. And I really like them. So there are quite a few that I really like from here. It's hard to kind of just choose one. Beige Mitza is a great shade. That's the one that's very similar to Cosmopolite. I really like the Gris shade. So it's called Gris Dior. And it's like a silvery blue shade. Here, I'll put that one right here. That's one of my favorites for sure. I also did a look using the green shade, which is called Lucky Clover. And You know, wearing that one dry, you see a lot of that black base, but using it wet, it's this gorgeous, gorgeous emerald green. So I really like the monos. I'm happy with all of the ones I have. Some of them have surprised me. Check out my video on those if you want to see them all and get my opinions, but they're definitely a really nice product. I think formula is great. There are some shades that may be similar to some of the quints, but with some of the ones, if they have the same name as a quint, sometimes they're just a complementary shade, such as the denim shade. So I think you just kind of have to look closely at what you have. And next we have the Suku Summer Collection. So this is the 104 quad. I really love these. I'm not going to swatch these now, but I do have comparisons of these with some of the palettes from the permanent collection on the community tab and on Instagram. And then I do have a video featuring all of these, this entire collection. So this one here is 104. And then we also have another limited edition 105. These should be restocking very soon on Selfridges. I believe they were supposed to go up last week, so hopefully any day now. And I really like both of them. If I had to pick one though, surprisingly, it's actually the 104. I really love this one, and it's a little bit different. You know, it's like these browns, they're like warm browns, but they have a bit more of like a tangerine shade to it instead of like that reddish look that you get in a lot of palettes. So it's more like an orangey golden kind of undertone in the brown. It's gorgeous. I really like these. So I think the palettes are fantastic. You can't go wrong. I picked up a few of the lip products as well. One of my favorites here is the number 104 in the Glow. And I'll just put that one right here. It's beautiful. This is also going to be a great shade for fall. To me, it screams more fall than summer. I really love this one. This is my favorite from the summer for the lips. I also really like the Fog formula in number 107. And then there are also two eyeliners. This is the Nuance eyeliner, and there were two shades released. So we have 103, which is called Dove Gray. And this is gray with kind of like a purple mauve undertone to it. And then this one here is 102. And they are fantastic. I love these. You know, I actually haven't seen them available online on Selfridges. They were available at Cult Beauty during the original launch, but these are supposed to be restocking. So I don't know if I missed them or what, but they should be available soon. So if I had to pare down that collection and just pick my ultimate favorites, I would pick up both eyeliners. I would pick up the 104 eyeshadow quad. Honestly, I'd probably get the 105 too, because I do really like that one. But the 104 would be my preference. And then for the lip products, it would be the Glow in number 104 and the Fog in 107. Then we have Chanel Les Beige collection. So I think I did a pretty good job curating what I picked up from this collection. I didn't get everything. I picked up the Intense palette, which is very similar to Chanel Blurry Green. So if you already have that, check out my comparison of those in the videos. And yeah, I like this. It's a little bit easier to wear on a daily basis, like on a daytime look than Blurry Green, in my opinion, because you've got a few more lighter shades in here. I would definitely repurchase this again. I also picked up two of the Cocoa Flashes. This one here is, let's see, where can I put this? This is Dawn, right here. And I also picked up Sunbeam, which is more of a coral shade. I would definitely purchase both of those again. And then I picked up the new bronzer, the cream bronzer in the deep shade. And you know, I surprisingly really like the tones of this. So I would pick up everything that I did from this collection again. Katie Jane Hughes brushes. So I really like Katie Jane Hughes. I like supporting her as an artist. So would I repurchase the set again? Yes, I would. Are these my favorite brushes? No, they're not. They are nice. They are decent synthetics. I really love the holder and the case. You can see that you've got like this like suede type fabric here. I believe everything here is vegan though, by the way. And yeah, so you can use this as a store. This is actually the bottom. This is the top. So you can attach these, travel with it, keep them dust free, or you can use both halves to kind of hold your brushes. So you use one for clean and one for dirty. And I do have a video going through and kind of paring down what I would choose from these if they, well, for when they do become available individually. The smaller sets I think are a great idea, and those are forthcoming. So I would definitely, you know, aside from me just supporting her, I would pick up a smaller set otherwise instead of this entire set, because some of these brushes are just ones I wouldn't reach for very often. And again, if you already have a lot of makeup brushes, you probably don't need all of these anyway, but I like them. So I would pick this up again, but if I were being completely honest, I would go with a smaller set. You know, I don't really need this because I like supporting her so much. If I personally were to do it again, I would go with the full set, if that makes sense. By the way, it also comes with a microfiber cleaning cloth as well. Next, we have the Hourglass blushes. So I picked up two. I picked up Sacred and Devoted. And, you know, I like these. I think they are nice blushes. I think the shape and container packaging, all of that is a little gimmicky, so I don't like that. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would. However, in the event that we have so many blushes being released at the same time, like we did now, I would probably hold off on these. They are not my favorite ones to come out, but I do really like these. I think they are worth having and they perform really well. So I think they're a great option. And yes, I would repurchase these. Now I also picked up a couple of UZ liners. I've only tried the one so far. This one is the blue one. It's the light blue shade. Let me show you that. I would definitely pick these up again. I think this is probably my favorite eyeliner now for a liquid eyeliner, followed by the Suku Nuance. They have a ton of different shades of this. It's so easy to use. It's a brush tip. The Suku is a felt tip. You can see I kind of just messed up my tip doing that on my hand there, but you can get like the finest point with this. There are so many different options and they're reasonably priced. So yes, I will pick up more of these. I actually have a yellow one as well that I haven't gotten to yet, but absolutely love these. And then another item, this is a permanent item, so there's no rush for this, just like the liners before, but this is the Suku Framing Eyebrow Liquid Pen in 03, which is called Camel. And let me just put that right here. This is the shade right there. Super fine point. This is, you know, the pen style, so you kind of want to do like the little flicking motion. I really like this. It's so easy to use. It's way easier to use than any other liquid eyebrow product that I have used, like pen style. So yes, I would repurchase this again and I recommend it. And then we have the Burberry Kisses lipsticks. So I picked up quite a few shades of these. This one here is number 33, Tempest Rose. This is one of my favorites. This is pinky shade here. I really like this formula. I think they're nice. I enjoy the packaging. One thing to note, you know, it's magnetic. So yes, if you put it on like this, that works. But, you know, you got to have the magnet going the right direction. So I am happy that I picked these up. I did pick up quite a few colors. So if I were to do it over again, I would make an attempt to be more selective. But I have to say, I really do like all of the ones I got. I think that the shades look a little bit different on the computer than they do in person. So check out my video for that. And so I do have some favorites. So if I were to repurchase again, you know, I would try to be a little more selective. So like this one here, 33 Tempest Rose, that would be one of my definite picks. In reality, I'd probably get them, all the ones I got, maybe some more. All right, and then I tried to sample the Chanel CC cream. My container on that was actually cracked, so I don't have that to show you anymore, but I decided not to purchase a full size of that. It is a good color match for me, but it's a little bit of a thicker formula and it has a little bit of that pearly look on the skin. So there are just some other products I think that I prefer over that. I'm also still testing some samples of the Chanel Loose Powder. I think it's very nice, but I just haven't found any, I have two shades. I have 10 and 12, I believe. And I don't find anything wow about it. So I think I'm happy sticking with the Givenchy Prisma Libre powder. So I don't think I'm picking up a full size in that. And then the Tisse Essentielle Quad. So here's Tisse Essentielle. And I think it's a very nice one. You can see here, I think that actually shows you the light a little bit better because there are like kind of like a pearly swirl in the quad here. So I think this white one is looking a little there. If I hold it to the side, you can see the color of this better. It's a lighter beige shade, but it's very light. Overall, this is similar. It's like a lighter version of Clair Obscure, in my opinion. I really like this. I think it's a great everyday neutral palette, and I would definitely repurchase this again. It's one that I wouldn't hesitate to wear on a daily basis. And next we have the Dior Kabuki Brow Styler. And I have shade 011. And this is the part that draws me to this. You see this little brush? That's actually a little brush. That's so cute. But I do like it. I don't love it. So this, first of all, I think I need a slightly darker shade. The actual formula of this pencil, it's okay, but it's a little, I don't know, it's like a little dry, yet also a little waxy. So this is a product that if you want to like totally color in and fill in a brow, this is good for that. And this brush works really well for that. If you are looking for little like hair-like strokes, you're not going to get that with this product. So I think this is nice, and honestly, I probably still would have picked it up just to have this little brush. I plan on keeping it for this brush afterwards. But for the actual product itself, I would not repurchase. And then we have the By Terry Brightening CC palette in Beach Balm, and I really like this. So it has a very strong rose scent like most By Terry products do. It is very fragrant. It's strong. I really like the colors of this. The fragrance I can deal with. And yeah, I wish that, like, I don't mind the rose scent. I do wish it was toned down a little bit because it is a very, very strong scent. But I really like this. So yes, I would repurchase, especially if you can get it on sale. And then this is Dior 429 Toile de Jouy. And this is one of their new permanent palettes. And I think it's much warmer in person than it appears in the photos online. I think it's nice, but I wouldn't repurchase it. It's not a favorite. It's not one that I reach for. It's nice and I like it and I'll use it, but I don't love it. And then we have this Décolleté powder. This is the Sakura Tone Up powder, and it's translucent. Let me just show you what these shades look like. And I have to say that, you know, I pretty much picked this up because of the, it's pretty. So this is the outer packaging, but you know, you can see how pretty this imprint is, the shades in here. Even the little plastic piece here is, you know, decorated. So they do recommend keeping that plastic there so you don't get powder on the mirror. But would I pick this up again? I would. But would I pick up this powder if it weren't for the aesthetics? No, I haven't noticed anything substantially better between this one and any of, like, for example, the Coke and Dough powders. So I think it's a nice powder and it's pretty, but I actually prefer the Coke and Dough ones performance-wise. And then I picked up some things from Violette FR, and I think her eye paint sticks, these, or well, liquids, these work very nicely. She doesn't have a huge color range yet, but I think she is coming out with new items. I don't know if there will be new shades in this. The blue one isn't quite what I expected, so I don't love the blue one. The color of the matte one I don't love, but I really do like the formula. The formula on both of these, they perform really well. So I would consider picking up more items from her line in the future, but I don't love these enough to say that I would repurchase these two in particular. The velvet lip, the red velvet liquid lip, I need to practice with that more. And honestly, I just haven't gotten around to it, but it has a gorgeous finish. It was very challenging for me to apply it nicely. It's messy and it's very liquidy, and it was a bit drying to my lips. So I need to play around with that. And honestly, I haven't had a chance to get back to that. I think I've worn it for 2 days total. So, you know, it's not really enough to say, but I have to say every time I have put it on, I've gotten a load of compliments on that. So these, again, I would recommend if you've got colors that you like. The rose petal lip product, you know, Honestly, I probably would repurchase it again just because it has such a unique, beautiful finish. It really does make your lips look like you're wearing a rose petal. But it's probably more of a special occasion type lip product for me, not something that I would wear all day long. And that's okay, but I would like it for those purposes. As for the highlighter that I picked up, I didn't like that, so I would not pick that up. And then last up, we have the Hindosh palette, which I really like this palette. I think it is really fun, easy to use, and it's really nice to play with. So I like all of the different shades. I like being able to mix them. And these pigments go on without looking like powder. You know, it's really just as though you've colored your skin. So I really like this. I wouldn't hesitate to pick this up again. Now, as for some other items I've been reaching for, I've been using the Hermes blushes a lot. This one is shade 23 Rose Blush. I've been using this one and Rose Ombre probably the most. And then there's another one, Rose Plume. Those are the three that I've been reaching for the most. I've also been using my Sicily blushes. This one here is shade number 1, Pink Peony, but the one I've been using the most is the Coral. Bronzer, I'm still using the Gucci bronzer. Foundations and primers. For primers, I have been, still alternating between the Surratt Perfectioniste primer and the Dior Forever Skin Veil. When my skin feels a bit drier, I've been reaching for this one. And when it's nicely moisturized, I go ahead and use the Surratt. So I'm about to, you can see I don't have much left. This is my second full-size tube, and I do have another one already. For foundations, I've really been mostly using, a few of my favorites. So the Coconut Moisture Foundation 012, this is almost empty. And then I picked up a new full-size bottle of the Coconut Aqua in 012. Really like that. And I've been using the Givenchy Prisma Libra Foundation in shade 1N95 most of the time. So I love that. And I also like the Merit, this is the complexion stick in silk. So I use this a lot, and I have to say that, this isn't pulled all the way down. So I've used this a ton, and the product itself, you really don't need much. So I've been using this mostly for under eye concealer and sometimes for a little additional camouflage on the cheeks with any of my foundations. And then on days when I'm not really wearing any makeup, I've been using this on its own. You can use this on its own as a foundation as well. I just have been enjoying things with a little bit more moisture because of the condition of my skin at this time of year. And then on my face right now, I have the new Clé de Peau Glow Foundation that I'm testing out. So stay tuned, that'll be coming up soon. I just started testing it. So for setting powder, I've been reaching the most for the Givenchy Prisma Libra powder in number 1, Mousseline Pastel. Comes in many different colors. This particular top is limited edition, but they have it in the regular black top as well. I've been using that one the most for setting powder. Finishing powder, I haven't been using that often, but when I do, I'm still using the Guerlain Meteorites and Pearl Glow. So this was one of the spring ones. It's the closest to the light pearls in the regular line. For eyeshadows, I've been using a lot of the Dior Mono shadows. I've been reaching for a lot of my limited edition, no longer available Dior Quints like Pink Sakura and Blooming Bouquet. Today I have Wild Brown on. And I've also been using a lot of eye sticks like those from Sicily, the by Terry and Bronze Moon. I've been using the Beige Perlé in the Stilo Ombre Contour from Chanel, and that's no longer available, but I've been using all of those products, kind of mixing and matching, and that's what I've been using the most. And for mascara, I'm still hung up on the Sicily So Stretch in dark brown. Still love the Surratt Noir lash tint as well, but I don't have an open tube of that right now. And another one that I'm still enjoying is the Lancome Lash Idole, and this is a mini. I have 2 more of these mini sizes, so I'll be switching that one out soon. And for highlighter, I'm still going with the Guerlain Meteorites Pearl Dust palette, or I've been reaching for some cream highlighters such as the Ritual de Fille and Ice Bow, or the Surratt Torche Lumiere and Diamante. So this is Diamante, just so you can kind of see that one. And it's just a really beautiful champagne shade. I also have the Rose Diamante, which I like. Also, very, very excited for the Lisa Eldridge. I'm actually filming this on Lisa Eldridge's launch day, so I'm wearing her sweatshirt right now, the Muse lip gloss, and testing out some Pat McGrath blushes. So, and the highlighter. So, definitely testing a bunch of things right now. For lips this past month, I mean, obviously I picked up a lot of lip products. I've been wearing all of them. So, I think that is everything. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I will see you very soon. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy.